Welcome to the Dr. April Jasper Show, relevant conversations for business owners of today. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We appreciate being a part of your life and being invited into your day. It is such a joy to be able to help our colleagues to bring value to their patients and to help you strengthen and grow your business. Join us at optometricmanagementeducation.com, where you can learn more about all of the other services we provide. We have a subscription service that you can be a part of, where you can learn and teach your team from the courses that we've recorded on all of the topics that are relevant to your success. We also have consulting services. And right now, if you give us a call, schedule a call with me, I'll be happy to talk to you about what we can do to help you grow your business one-on-one. So David, we were talking about lessons learned in 2022 and really just kind of walking through a recap. So we talked in the last episode about things going on in our life. Allie's wedding coming up. Allie and Kyle, sorry about that, Kyle. It's your wedding too. Allie and Kyle's wedding coming up. We didn't talk about Aiden at all. Poor kid. But he's just steadily at work at college and studying physics and
philosophy.
He's a little bit past my knowledge base of things.
Yeah. When your final exam on your test is 5 problems, and each problem takes up 2 to 3 chalkboards,
and you have 3 days to get it done.
And you've got 3 days to get it done. Yeah, that's a bit beyond anything I can even comprehend. So
we're excited for him. He's a good kid. He's here
working
for
hard.
us, working hard. We're just blessed to be able to have some amazing kiddos.
Yep.
And we never thought we'd be in a place where they would still be at home with us because they were going to go off to college, and then 2020 hit and their college plans changed. So
as did the world's.
As did everybody's, right?
Yeah.
And it's okay. And I think that's one thing we mentioned too already, is that it's time to be flexible and be able to adapt to any challenge that comes your way. And every time you do, here's something I meant to say and didn't, so we're going to say it now. Every time you do have that good response to challenge, it's important that you document it somehow. You memorialize. That. You make it so that you remember it down the road, so that it encourages you the next time you're in a similar situation. You can go back and say, remember that time? And
when?
Yeah. And look at the result. Look at what happened as a result.
Absolutely.
And sometimes for me, the way I do that is photos. You can see if you're here at the house, there's pictures everywhere, and there's knickknacks. But remember, and I tell David this all the time, everything that's a knickknack in this house has a story. I could walk around, and we should do that sometime with the camera, and tell you the story of every little thing in here. And I'd probably cry with most of them because all of them have a story. And what's really cool about that, and as we're talking, I'm looking around at my stories all over the house. I mean, my grandfather's flag is up on the shelf, a story. He was in the war, he passed, and I don't know how I was so blessed to get the flag, but there's a story everywhere. And the lessons we learn from the challenges that we've gone through and the challenges we've faced will help us to better face the next one, I guess is what I'm saying.
It's good stuff.
But what we wanted to jump into is how business is this year and how has it been? And we know our patients listen to this podcast, as well as our family and friends and colleagues. So we're not going to talk about dollars and cents, but we're going to talk about dollars and cents in a very general way. So has business been terrible? Has business been good?
Business has been great.
Yeah. And
Not just good. It's up. We're up.
Yeah. We thank our patients every day because they're the ones that make it that way.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but when I love a business and when I really think a lot of the owners and I think that they're doing a great job, I want to reward them with my business.
Right.
And I don't think it's a very complicated concept. It's very simple to me. If I think that you are a great person and I think what you're doing is amazing and I love that you're doing it and I want more businesses to be like yours,
right,
then I'm going to help you be successful. I can choose where I want to spend money.
Absolutely.
And so
I
think that we hear so many times people say, well, what's going to happen to your business? This is happening. This is happening. You know, there's online this, and every company, I mean, I can buy a car online.
Yeah. Everybody's facing the same thing, really, every industry, right?
You can see a doctor online.
Yep.
You can do pretty much anything you want virtually.
A lot of people have.
And maybe
Printing,
yeah.
You name it, it's all going.
Exactly. And so if that's the case, then how is there any business that's still in business in a brick and mortar establishment? And what's the answer?
You treat them like their family.
Right. Thank you to NeuroLens for being a sponsor of our podcast. We have really appreciated having the option of NeuroLens for our patients in our practice. At least 2/3 of people experience the symptoms of eye misalignment, and that number grows as we continue to shift to remote work and learning. The symptoms of headaches, eye strain, dry eyes, and neck pain, eye fatigue, even motion sickness can be extreme. Even small misalignments can cause painful symptoms, and even small prism correction can provide dramatic relief.
And it was funny. Yesterday we were at the office.
Oh, I love this story.
Yeah.
Without naming names.
I'm on the phone. I'm in the back. I'm in my back. April and I share an
cubicle.
office in the back of the store and way back. And that's where I stay hidden most of the day because that's where
That's where you put finance guys.
That's where I belong, yeah. So I'm back there working. I think I'm on the phone. Allie comes in. Allie was working yesterday with us at the office. She had finished her finals and she was in. And she's like, this customer up front wants to see you. She wants to meet you. She's met the whole family, but she's never met you. And I'm like,
okay.
All right, well, hang on. Okay, hold on. She's like, you got to come right now. You got to come right now. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then somebody else, one of the other staff member comes up and says, this lady really wants to talk to you. You need to come out and talk to her. And I'm like, I'm going, what in the world? Are you serious?
It's not the first time, but it's definitely.
No, but this was like, I don't even understand what's going on. So it was funny. Caught me off guard. And I went up and she was just one of the sweetest people. And she was just going, I see you guys in the pictures in the office and I want to meet you. And I wanted to say hello. And her friend was there and her friend was talking about how she's always talking about the office and always talking about our staff and our family. And it was just,
do you remember
that's just
the story?
a reminder. That's a reminder of what we do every day. Not every patient is as outgoing as she is or was, but they all want to know what's happening in our lives and they all want to know what's going on at the office and how are we doing and is everything going good and that's just
our family.
Is just a blessing to have for people to show up. And of course you have the people that I want my money back too.
Not very many.
No,
I mean,
no.
if you count that on your
No,
hand.
that's
And I still think the people that are negative and the people that are rotten, because they're out there, they came in rotten. And we can't win everybody over, but we sure try. And I do believe even the rotten ones, they leave blessed if they let themselves be blessed. And so it's okay. You can't change the world for the rotten ones.
And we do that ourselves when we're out. If we're at a restaurant, say, and
we do what? We're the rotten ones?
No. No. We help the businesses half the time.
Yes.
Well, more than half the time. Every time, almost every single time, unless something is so bad that it was just so bad that we have to just go, okay, we'll walk away and not even, and even then it's like we're totally disarming and we want to go.
So how do we help the businesses?
Like a waiter or a waitress, if they're having a bad day, you can tell, when you get a bad waiter or waitress and they're just kind of ignoring you and it's like, okay, well, I appreciate you anyways and I'm going to give you the 20% because I want you to know that we're here and whatever's going on in your life, we still want to support you and we want you to know that we care about you. It doesn't matter what.
Right.
Because everybody's facing something every single day.
I got to tell them about that story, though. You started down the road.
Which one?
So the person that you saw yesterday that wanted you to come out and say hello, that was so excited. So one of the stories she tells, and so here's a lesson. How can somebody tell a story until they have a story to tell? And so if we don't do things that are exceptional, if we don't step out and we don't try to make a difference, then we don't give them a story to tell.
Right.
And so we have to be thinking about that every single moment. What is my moment that I can make a difference for this patient?
Right.
So what happened with her is that she was very fond of one brand of frames that we carry in our practice. Mm-hmm. And we had a trunk show. So we had this trunk show. She came in. She had broken her favorite frame that they had, and they didn't make it anymore. So we searched first high and low for this frame all around the country and around the world. We spent days looking for it, could not find this frame for her. And then I knew that I had purchased the same frame and I had been holding it at home to be able to use it myself for a pair of glasses one day. And I had forgotten I had it, but then I remembered. And the minute I remembered, because I didn't even know all this was going on with her. And then I found out and I thought, well, I have that frame at home. I've never even worn it. And so I brought it in. We called her up and we said, we have the frame. It's Dr. Jasper's personal frame. She wants you to have it. I didn't even charge her for it. I just said, this frame belongs to you. You need to have it. It was meant for you. And she came in and we were both in tears. We were so excited. She made me cry. And I mean, she still has that pair of glasses.
Yeah, she does.
She loves them. We put new lenses in them and she tells that story to everybody. And
It's
so,
funny.
yeah. And I wanted her to have it. We love her. She's part of the family. I mean, our patients are our family and
Yeah.
we want to change their lives. And so we wanted to say, here I got myself all teary-eyed again. We wanted to say at the beginning of this segment that really there are 3 ways you can recession-proof your business, because I think that everybody's a little bit worried about it. We went through 2022. We're almost done with 2022. David just told you we've had a great year, best year we've ever had.
Oh,
And
yeah.
by the way, that's all due to my team. That has nothing to do with April, because April can do what April does, but it's all the team that does the real hard work. And so thank you to my team. Thank you to our doctor for that. And yeah, so we're excited about it. But how do you do it? How do you recession-proof your business? And are we worried about next year? So I don't know. I won't speak for you, so you can answer for yourself. I'm not terribly worried about next year. What I'm worried about is, if I ever worry, I worry about the fact that my team will forget what they need to be doing to maintain the business that we have and to continue to grow our business. And that is that we're not in business to make people see. That's what we do. But what we're in business in is we're in the business of changing people's lives
Right.
for the better.
Yeah.
I guess I should add that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we're not machines, and we're human. So we mess up too, but we feel very strongly, David and I, that our business, this isn't our only business, as you guys know,
Right.
but we're not in business for any other purpose than to change people's lives and to be able to make a difference for the better. And if we can't do that, if we lose our ability to do that, then we shouldn't be in that business any longer.
Yeah.
And that's where sometimes there have been team members that we've had to find somewhere else to go. And typically the reason is because they've lost that loving feeling. They've lost that understanding that they have to be in business to change people's lives for the better. And if they forget that, and if I can't remind them and help them bring it back, then I need them to go find a place where maybe they think that doesn't matter.
Maybe they can find that. Well, maybe they can serve in another way.
Yes. We are proud to be sponsored by MacuHealth, a triple carotenoid formula that is the only one with mesozeaxanthin, lutein, and zeaxanthin. David and I have been using MacuHealth in our practice for several years. We love it because it's patented with micromicelle technology. It's clinically proven to restore macular pigment and supported by level 1 scientific evidence. So we have confidence that it works. But I think the 3 ways to recession-proof your business. Number 1, remember what you're in business to do. And in my mind, that is to change people's lives for the better, bring them value in one way or another.
Yep.
So if you do that and you continue to look for ways to do that every single day, then you're not going to have a problem. You're going to be fine. I think the other thing, though, is to have what patients want.
Absolutely. Products
Products that they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have stories about that. We have a patient who told us one time that she didn't, and I asked her, so
Yeah.
how do you know if you have what they want?
That's a whole topic.
Yep. How do you
That
know
is-
if you have what they want? You have
Yep.
to ask them.
Right.
And so there was
And be willing to
change.
do it.
Yeah.
Not just, I mean, it's not even changing for optical, obviously you could potentially be bringing a
Yeah.
whole line in, and for one patient, technically.
You think it is.
I mean, obviously you're hoping everybody else is going to buy the line too, but they're asking for it.
I think what happens is we get so stuck on the idea that we're doing it all correct and we're perfect.
man.
And if you don't like it, well, that's your problem, because I know I've got it figured out.
Man, I'm so thankful that never crosses my mind.
It doesn't.
No,
I
I'm like,
realize every day that there's a better way, and I just haven't found it yet. And I
Yeah.
think that's why the kids sometimes think that I'm, what's the word? Let's just say a hard worker.
Yeah.
But it's never enough. And by that, I don't mean that I'm never satisfied
No,
or
no.
never happy.
No. It's just, there's always somebody out there that can teach you something.
Yes.
And it does not matter. I mean, they could
Yes.
have gotten through middle school and now they're 50 years old and not even gone to a year of high school, and they're going to teach you something. And that's, man, we've met so many people that we're just so blessed to know. And
Lessons learned.
yeah.
But the lesson is you have to know what your patients want. And the only way you're going to know is to ask them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we'll go into the story another day a lot deeper, but there was a patient that came in and I knew she was fabulous and loved us. And I asked her one day, I said, you buy your contacts from me? You do your exams here, but you never bought glasses from me. And I said, why? And she said, because you don't have anything I want. And I probably, I paused.
That's so funny when you say it like that.
No idea what to say. And so I paused, and then thankfully I regrouped quickly and said, okay, so what is it that you want? And she said, well, this, and this, named off about 4 brands of frames that she would love to have. And I said, oh, I don't even know how I thought this, David. I don't even know how I thought to respond like this. I said, well, it cost quite a bit to bring in a new frame line. I'm so happy to do that, but I kind of need a commitment that you're going to be there to buy them once I do it. And she said, how many do you need me to buy to make it happen? And I gave her a number, and she said, I'm in. So we went out and we brought in the first of the 4 frame lines that she wanted. And she did exactly as she promised and helped it be profitable for us. And here's what's really good. She's not smart. She knew what we needed in our office, and I was not open to it until she shared with me.
But you were bold enough to ask.
Yeah. And she knew what other people wanted. So she wasn't the only one that bought.
Right.
It turned out she was right.
Oh, no, the line is amazing, and we sell it like crazy still.
We still have it.
Yeah.
It actually is the same
been
line that
12
patient that I just told you the story about wanted that frame. And we won't tell you what it is because that would be rude. But here's the important part. Like David said, be willing to know that you don't have it all figured out, and be willing to ask your patients questions. You need to have a personal way of helping them. Make sure you're bringing them value. Number 2, have what they want. And number 3, be willing to stop doing the things that don't bring value. And that can be just as important as anything else that we've done.
Yeah.
You can't be everything to everyone. So don't be upset when you're not. It's okay. But be able to look at what you're doing that may not make any sense and stop doing it because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And it depends too, though. I mean, we have done things for people. Somebody came over from another country.
Yeah.
It's an island, happens to be an island right offshore here.
Yep.
Not too far away, but it's another country, 55 miles from West Palm Beach. And he needed a piece of equipment for the eye care person on the island or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
for their medical
it's been
clinic.
so long. That was 16, 17 years ago.
You have to be willing to help them in areas they need help.
And it was crazy. It took us it took, I think, 2 or 3 of us almost 4 hours to track down this thing. Like
what they needed.
Not all of us working at the same time, but we all kind of did our little thing and figured out what we needed to do. And we ended up getting this guy what he needed. And he actually took it, didn't he? We found it and he got it to him.
Yeah, he was able to fly back.
We found a local distributor and the guy brought it to us, and he took it back that night.
Yeah. So you've got to be able to ask them what they want that you don't have, find out, get some advice from your patients, take care of them the way they want to, and just be willing to make changes when you need to. Yep. So those lessons are lessons that'll recession-proof your business, and they will take you through all of the tests of time. And that is what has helped us to not only grow our practice, but to be happy while doing it.
Right.
And I want to give them a specific example, David, that stands out to me of stop doing the things that make no sense. The first time that we did that, I'm not a morning person. I will just share that with you. I would love to be a morning person, but I'd have to go to bed earlier to be a morning person. So I'll work on that maybe in 2023. And it's his fault, not mine.
I am definitely not a morning person, but
So for some reason, here you have this not morning person that was opening up the practice and seeing patients at 8 o'clock in the morning. And that was because the doctor before me did it. And it was killing me.
Yeah.
I was physically falling apart because I wasn't getting enough sleep. And I probably did that for 3 years. And finally I read a book, and the guy in the book the author was talking about how if you own the business and starting early is killing you, why are you doing it? And I don't know why it took me so long. So I said to David, are you okay if we start seeing patients at 9 instead of 8? Because an hour, I think, will make a big difference. And I think you looked at me like I was crazy, because how could an hour make a difference? But to be fair, David always is good with me making these changes that may not make sense.
Change it to 10. You kidding me? I'm like, yeah, let's do 10 o'clock.
So we did, and we've never gone back. And what a difference it made. It really did make a big difference in my quality of life.
Yeah.
And it helped us to be able to be more efficient and better, happier in the practice. So go back and look at those things that you need to stop doing that you're currently doing, because that could be one of the biggest things that'll make a difference for you moving into 2023.
Yeah, sounds good. And we'll do more of these.
Exactly.